Welcome back to the channel, my YouTube family. How you doing today? And welcome back to more tips and tricks on Generation Zero. And yeah, it's fair to say that Generation Zero is an interesting game. It's great fun to be exploring all over the place in the environment, and you can come up against some really interesting places. You also sometimes have to risk life and limb to get the good loot. But anyway, it's very rewarding once you do. But once you've got the loot, what do you actually do with it? Today, we're going to go through and explain a whole lot of stuff about the resources that you pick up when you're going through the game. Let's do it! It's fair to say I've been a little bit busy doing a whole heap of experiments for you guys. The information I'm about to provide you with is how many of the objects that you're going to pick up are going to work to your advantage early in the game. I'm probably around 20 plus hours into the game and I haven't even got halfway through the map, so I'm only in the very early stages. So this will give you a better understanding of how you can use all these pick-upables, loots, whatever you want to call them, and yeah, have some fun. And we have done some fun experiments, let me tell you. So let's go over to the bunker and we'll have a look through some of these, and then we'll cut through and show you how they work in the environment. So first of all, let's have a look at the health packs. They are absolutely crucial to what you are going to need to stay alive. So the one that you'll find most often is the simple first aid kit, and the simple first aid kit restores a little bit of the player's health. It's about 20 to 30 health points from my experience. Then you are going to find the standard health kits, which will restore half the player's health, and I'll show you a little trick about how to do this, how to revive health using these two in combination very quickly. And then finally your advanced health kit, which will restore the majority of your health. So this one is really the one that's supercharged, and yeah, these are rare to find, but if you can find them, they'll get you out of a sticky situation. So here we are in game, and what I'd suggest you do, you see I've my health reduced, pop a standard and then pop a simple health pack together, and you'll see how quickly that resets itself. That will make sure that your health regenerates much quicker than just popping maybe just a simple health pack. Do those together and you'll be back to full health before you know it. Next one that I use a lot, which is the emergency flare. An emergency road flare that machines see as a target, medium range lure, high effectiveness. The beauty of this one is that you can throw it a long way, and what it does is it will focus all your enemies on the flare. So we're going to chuck this in a minute when we get round to it. Come on, and you'll see how far I can chuck it. Great arm, look at that. That's a long way, so that can give you a huge advantage to get away. We'll show you how this works in game. Here I'm fighting a couple of enemies. I'm actually trying to shoot that car. It's not going to explode, so I want to reposition. My health's low, so I pop a flare, chuck it out, reposition, and you can see they're now attacking the flare, and that just gives me the advantage to flank them and take my time and be able to kill them. Now there is a time limit on those flares, as you see, but if you're quick enough, it'll make you much more effective and get you out of trouble a lot. So there is a variation on the emergency flare, and that's the emergency flare sticky, and the only difference with this is you can actually throw it and stick it to a surface. So if you're strategic, you could actually stick it to an enemy, and I guess all the other enemies would go after it. Then we'll move on to fireworks. This firework overloads the machine's threat identifying circuits, and you'll see that in some of the clips. This really does stun them a lot. So this works a lot like the emergency flare in the fact that you can throw it a long way, and we're back in the same spot. Pop that. And it is actually quite pleasant. It's quite spectacular, but you can see it throws out all these kind of distractions, and it absolutely messes up. It almost works as an EMP kind of effect on the enemies. We'll show you that in game now. You can see I've got 4 or 5 enemies here, and they are just, you can see with the firework, they just don't know what the heck's going on. Look, he's not even moving. He just, and see, I'm sure it does a little bit of damage to the enemies, because these enemies die a lot quicker than normal. So more chuckables for you. We'll go with the grenade first. That's pretty standard. I've found these are a little bit finicky to get through doorways and stuff. I've blown myself up a number of times with these. But essentially, you can cook these if you like by holding them, and then there you go. They will ignite quite quickly. The smoke grenades, same thing. And it'll give you a little bit of cover to get away from the enemies. Obviously, it's not that thick. It's actually quite thick. It's not too bad. Again, if you're trying to evade enemies or trying to reposition, the smoke grenade will get you out of trouble. Okay, so the next thing we're going to look at, let's see, the radio. So let's assign this to a slot. And okay, so with the radio, what you do basically, you can chuck this a little bit of a distance. Doesn't go a long way. Once you assign it, there you go. It will draw either enemies to you or away. Just like that. And yeah, if they don't like 80s music, they might attack it. So it only lasts a small amount of time. So likewise with the boombox, you can chuck it. You can't chuck it too far. And again, some fantastic 80s music to dance to. And this just lasts a little bit longer, draws your enemies to it. Like I said, you can either lure them in or distract them so you can get away. Or you can stand here and get killed, but you look spectacular dancing. Okay, so explosive gas tanks. That's what it says on the label. The only problem I have with these is you can really not throw them any distance. Look at that. Pick that back up. You can pick them up if you like, but you can see I'm trying to throw at a distance. It won't throw a distance. So basically, these are a kind of group that you have to place down like that. And then to activate them, you can either shoot enemies close to them or that, and it causes an explosion. Pretty straightforward. In the same way as the explosive gas tanks, the compressed air works in a very similar way. Place them down, and this will actually give you not only explosion but a little bit of a gas cloud. So you see it's got a little bit, and it lingers around for a little bit, so that will also do damage to your enemies. And finally, these little batteries, there's 2 sizes here, and you can chuck it in, there you go, and it will explode like that. And I have actually killed enemies with that. And then of course we have the bigger one, and I think you actually have to physically shoot this to get it to work, but it has a much bigger effect, and that's the trade-off. So there you go, that is by far not the majority of things. That's not all the things that you can find and use in the environment, but that probably gives you plenty of ideas and plenty of things to be going on with at the start of the game. I just wanted to finish with this last little bit, which I did on stream the other day, which I combined a few of these items together, and they worked fantastically, and I just wanted to share that with you. So we managed to pick up or find, as we're travelling along, this box of gas tanks. So we collect all those up, And then what we're going to do is we're going to set them down outside a little bit of a shack like this. And then we're going to lure the enemies in using a flare and see what happens. So here we go. We're about to chuck the flare out. There you go. Bring them in. You can see all the tanks are ready to go. Let's get our gun ready and see what happens. And yeah, the enemies got suckered in. So, yep. Flares right there. Right. Oh, there he is. Yep, he just kicked one of the bottles over, I noticed. But as soon as you hit him, or her, look at that. Everything exploded. Absolute massive, massive impact and a heck of a lot of fun. So guys, thanks for that. Hope it's been useful. Hope it gives you some ideas. I'd love to see what you come up with as far as experiments and various combinations of these items might be. Please leave them down the comments down below so that I can see what you do with these. Thanks for supporting the channel. We'll catch you next time on Gaming for XP. See ya.